Step 2 in your zipper pouch. The first step says to fold the 4x7 piece in half lengthwise and press. All that means is hot dog style. So you're going to take your fabric like so. Fold in half. I have more than one iron and ironing board. So don't just stand around and do nothing. There's 4 irons and 4 ironing boards. Okay, just run a quick iron over that. Remember, it's going to be hot. Then it says to open up, fold the ends in towards the center crease. Do not fold them all the way to the middle. I find it easier to sew if they're not touching in the middle. So do you see I have my crease right here? I'm going to fold this one like this. And be careful with the iron so you don't burn yourself. Just make your other crease this way. Make sure it works pretty well. And then you're going to fold this one in. Again, your ironing board's going to be hot. You're going to fold it in this way. And then iron it. It's okay if you iron the other side again. Like this. Okay, that's all you're doing. So it's going to look like this on the front. You're going to have a fold in the middle. And then on the back, these two are going to stay down. They might flip up, and that's okay. Now you're going to refold along the center crease. Okay, it gives you approximately 1 inch by 7 inches, and you're going to top stitch. So all you're doing is taking this, folding it in half, like so. Take your iron, again, grease it down all the way. At this point, you want to make sure you have enough thread on your bobbin. Thread your machine. If you need a different color, rewind a new bobbin with a different color. If you want to switch threads with somebody, that's fine. Remember to always unplug the iron before you walk away. So I'm going to go ahead and get my machine set up. Okay, it says a top stitch along either side. The only thing with top stitching is there's not really a seam guideline that you have to follow. I get as close, when I'm stitching, I get as close to this edge as possible. It's meant to be a decorative stitch. It also serves a purpose in here to keep your folds from unfolding, like so. And then to make it match, I do it on both sides. For this one, I'm going to do 2/8 seam allowance so that it flows. Make sure you always back stitch. Okay, see how my fabric's not even? That means I didn't iron it correctly. I didn't make it even on both sides, so when I ironed, I should have moved this a little bit farther so they're exactly even. If you do this, you'll notice the stitches start to become a little crooked because I am following a 2/8. So it's a little harder to keep it where it needs to be. And then again, when you get to the end, make sure you back stitch. Okay, so side 1 is done. Okay, pull that off to the side. See, I have my top stitch. And you see how uneven that is, so I'll probably use this side. I'll probably end up redoing this whole thing because I don't like the way it looks. Now, again, on the same side, 2/8. Make sure you back stitch. You get to the end, make sure you back stitch. Okay. And it's done. Now, you're gonna cut this in half. My tension's off. You're gonna cut it in half. Make sure you trim your threads after you cut this in half. Best way to do this, these are gonna be your tab pulls, and they're very helpful with this type of pouch when you try and open and close it. So all I do is fold it in half, make sure it's even. And yes, you are going to cut your stitches on this. Everybody freaks out on this that they're going to unravel, and it's okay. But just fold it in half, stick your scissors in between, all the way through, and then cut. Now, you'll have 2 pull tabs. I'm going to trim my threads so that way they're not in the way for the next couple steps. But you should get this step done tomorrow. Make sure there are questions that go with this video on Google Classroom, so make sure that you submit it. That's how I know that you've watched the video. Okay, but that's how it's going to be the rest of this sewing project, so that I know that you are actually watching the videos at home and not in class.